Hey guys, so I somebody asked me just now. They said, "Do you think if you went away, like as far as, the social media presence or whatever, and just kind of, just dedicated yourself to your personal life, would all these crazies leave you alone?" And here's my answer to that. Some of them, maybe, some of them may just probably would just go away. I mean, they would probably try to stalk my personal life or whatever. But some of them would probably still be obsessed with me as a person, regardless of my political activism or whatever, right? Damn, I look good today. So, regardless of my political activism or whatever, right? But something that I have to make very clear to all of you, and it really, it has nothing to do with, the hate that I've gotten over the years, especially in the last 2 years. If you all think that hate came from, that psycho making pages of me 24 hours a day in New York, or her psycho buddy in New Jersey, or her, or Oscar L. Felon, or any of those people, or his Chuntara friend in North Dakota, or whatever. If you think all that hate came from them, you guys are wrong. I mean, it seems like it, like it would seem like it is coming from them, but it's not. It never came from them. They were just, I mean, they're a bunch of stupid people. I mean, think about it. Was it really smart for someone like me, with my potential, with my dual citizenship, with my dual culture and everything else that I have, to be fighting with some deported drug trafficker in Tijuana? That doesn't even make sense. Like, why would I even lower? I mean, first of all, why would I even lower myself to even coming near him? Really? I mean, again, I didn't know he was a drug trafficker in the beginning, but okay, fine. Then I find out, I mean, it would have been as simple as me walking away and just not even dealing with his stupid ass, because we all know he's a clown, right? So it would have been as simple as me walking away, but for some reason, as of around February or March of 2019, all this, hate started coming out of nowhere, right? Obviously, it came with me, obviously, going viral, and I already had some hate from before, from Colorado or whatever, when I went to Colorado, and the hate from the past. I mean, to be honest with you, and this is not to be conceited in any way, but I've always gotten a lot of hate. My whole life, I've gotten hate. Like, it sounds vague, and it sounds shallow, I guess. But even my hair has always been a huge issue of conflict for some people. It's crazy. It really is. It's crazy. It literally drives some women insane, some stupid woman, really, because if you're smart and you see someone having something that you like, you become friends with that person, and you find out how to have whatever they have. You don't start attacking them or hating on them, because then it just doesn't make sense. Whatever. So anyway, even that, something as vague as something as vague as what I was born with. But I was born with it, but it's not just being born with it. Obviously, I know a lot of things. I have a lot of knowledge that I acquired very early on in my life, right? So, I've always been a magnet for hate, unfortunately. But anyway, so I already kind of had that before I went viral for the political movement or whatever. But after February of 2019, I got even, like, it was like unreasonable hate, you know, and suddenly before I knew it, I found myself fighting with, you know, the two guys, with Oscar and Anthony and this one and that one and Amy and Melinda, and the whole thing. Now that I look back, it doesn't make sense, because Oscar's completely insignificant. I mean, yeah, he's a fraud, and he's a, you know, he's a clown and a fraud, whatever, but it was really not my fight. I mean, the guys had told, I don't care what the guy does. I never have. I never will. How is that guy even comparable to me? Think about it. He's not even a U.S. citizen. What's he going to do, run for Congress? And even if he did, I mean, I'm just saying, he's not going to, he's a drug trafficker, but I'm just saying, like, how is he a threat to me in any way? Oh, he's going to report from the border, so who cares? You know? Oh, what else is he going to do? I mean, again, as of February 9th of 2019, I sort of gave into these fights for some reason, when fighting with someone like him was completely stupid. Like, who cares, you know? I mean, even if I didn't want to hang out with him because, you know, then I knew he was a drug trafficker or whatever, then just walk away from him. No big deal. I'm like, órale, ¿cómo vas, güey? Órale, ¿cómo vas, güey? Órale, llégale, chinga tu madre. And that's it, you know? That's it. I mean, really, it's not like I needed him, you know, it's not like he really, but I mean, we could have just, whatever, you know, didn't have to go any further. I mean, he decided also to take it further, but I also engaged in a fight with him, which is, now, I just find him so boring. Like, he's not even worth my time. But see, he's the one that because I engaged in a fight with him, he created a lot of hate. I mean, hate that ended up backfiring on him. So, you know, he tried to hurt me. He ended up hurting himself as well. I mean, but in any case, he's a nobody. And I'm the one that really mattered in all of this, and the one that gave into fights with him, that obviously didn't benefit either him or me, right? While other people were getting rich somewhere for doing absolutely nothing, for being absolute whores who do nothing, right? Where's Amy? What's Amy doing? You know, Melinda's doing well, thankfully. You know, she's busy with her life. But where's all the other harassers and stupid idiots that obviously don't matter? You know, where are they? They're nowhere. It was worthless. It was a pointless fight. I mean, other than the fact that I learned something that some of these empty-headed bimbos have no idea how to do, which is become publicly strong no matter what's thrown at you, because I could guarantee you these people couldn't handle a freaking, they couldn't handle an attack on social media. Like, they would probably go crazy. And I've handled hundreds, if not thousands, of attacks, not only on social media, but at courts, and you will never, ever take that away from me. So if that's maybe what was supposed to come out of it, thank you, you know. But again, the psycho in New York, the pervert, this one, that one, they were never my real fight. They never have been my real fight. They're not my I mean, yeah, it seems like they're my enemies, but they're a bunch of losers. They're a bunch of nobodies. They're not my real enemies, you know? Not the one that, not any of the ones who filed any of these court orders that have been dismissed for being a bunch of bullshit, basically. None of them. They were only distractions. They were only tools to people who were much more evil than them and smarter, you know, smarter in some ways. Not really smarter, because if you're really smart, you don't mess with someone like me. If you're really smart, you know, I mean, you may be smart enough to get certain things, but if you're really smart, you don't, I mean, look at what happened to Oscar. Here he is a month later, you know, still attacking a liberal reporter with millions of followers, or access to millions of followers, while he's sitting there bitching on his little account with 60,000 followers and 12 likes, you know? But anyway, they have never been my real enemies. And my real fight was never, whether it was the drug trafficker or the chuntara or, her daughter's or whatever she identifies as, or her teethless husband, or or this one or that one. They've never been my enemy, or the loca, or the other one. Like, they're a bunch of nobodies. I mean, they and always will be. They're like truly a bunch of nobodies. And what did they gain out of it? Nothing. They only got older. They've only had to spend money. Their liver right now probably is about to explode. That they're not able to terrorize my social media, because as soon as I felt like it, I took action against it. I mean, it was that simple. I just took action against it. So simple. So I can't even imagine the chemical reactions in their bodies from the anger that they've been feeling this whole week, to be honest with you. But they've never been my enemy. And again, they've been nothing more than distractions for somebody who probably sat back and laughed at all of us, including them as well, because a lot of them have gone through a lot, I mean, look at, the meltdowns and the embarrassing moments that the drug trafficker has gone through, for example, or this one or that one or whatever. And with more yet to come. I mean, some of them have had to spend, thousands of dollars on attack, as a result of attacking me or others, or, all kinds of different things. So always know your enemy, okay? Always know your enemy. Because as of February 2019, apparently I created a new one that I was, I guess for a long time unaware of. Who knew? Who knew people can be so insecure? But now we know. The more you know. Always know your enemy. Always know your enemy. And especially those enemies, they always give themselves away somehow. And it's crazy because maybe this is something that God gave me as some sort of diagnostic tool, or who knows. I mean, I don't even know what to call it, but some sort of diagnostic. When they become sort of obsessed with the hair, it just hair is a very spiritual thing. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign of think about it. The older you get, the more brittle your hair gets. It obviously falls out. It turns white, gray, whatever. Having strong, full, natural colored hair, I'm saying not gray, is a sign of strength. It's a sign of youth. It's a sign of vitality, and it's very, very spiritual. So for whatever reason, they always obsess with the hair because it's something that these people lack. They want to get places. They want to do things. But it seems to me like they don't have the strength, the real strength, And I'm not talking about on Instagram. I'm not talking about Twitter. I'm not talking about, calling this person or calling that person. No, I'm talking about real internal, kind of like President Trump has, because he really has pretty amazing strength, We saw that. I mean, you can't fake strength. People ask me, how do you do all the things that you do all day? And I'm like, I don't even know sometimes. And imagine if my life was even remotely close to being more normal, as some would call it. I don't know what normal really is, but I don't even want to. I mean, people can't figure out how I do all that I do, and it's complicated. Imagine if it wasn't. I mean, some of these people have really easy lives, and they look 15 years older than what they really are, or they look tired, they look worn out, they look weak. I've been awake since, I took a nap, but I've been awake since 5 a.m. I do all kinds of things. I mean, it's like, and yeah, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep, but anyway. Bye. Know your enemy. I've gotten to know mine, and I can't wait. Bye, guys.